Yeah, like time flies by, guys. Sorry for the jump scare there. All right, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Sorry about that. I had to brush my teeth and get ready and all that stuff, so it took me just a second there, so I apologize for the wait. For those of you that don't know, this is the Saturday Art Share stream. It's my favorite stream of the week. I have a pin post on my Blue Sky profile where you guys can share your artwork, and then I will show it off to the world on stream. So if you guys are watching this and you're not already following me on Blue Sky, be sure to do so you can participate. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's hop on over here after I wake up my VTuber real quick, actually. Gotta wake up my quantum body here, and then also put him in the right spot. There we go. Sorry, I move him when I play Palia with Havoc, so. Alright, let's go ahead and hop on over. And let me make sure I can see Twitch. Hell yeah. Alrighty, let's get this started here. Alright, to start us off, we have Sarah McKenzie. Sarah wrote, "Thank you for the art share. You're very welcome. I make fantasy and sci-fi illustration, all digital. Lots of it involves dragons, and most of it is creature concept art. I am working on this 3D model of my Shella design in Blender. While it's still work in progress, I wanted to show it anyway. Hey, nothing wrong with work in progress at all." Ooh, cool. I need to learn. I had started to learn Blender, but I wasn't doing like a super great job with it. So looks like Sarah is far more advanced in Blender than I am, so very, very cool. Let's see, it says 3D creature, work in progress, Shelob from Lord of the Rings, so it's one of the spiders. Cropped close-up view of a spider monster's face in Blender 3D. It has a short pair of horns above its three red eyes, and its mouth is edged with sharp black teeth. A long tongue with black spikes along its side sticks out of the open mouth. Two limbs tipped with barbed fangs grow from the side of its head and curve around to the front of its face. Uh, Many more black spikes stick out of the tip of these limbs as well. Medial to the larger barbed fangs, the creature's nose consists of a skull-like holes in the center of its face. Do spiders actually have noses? I don't know. Hmm. But it is a Lord of the Rings spider, so yeah, sprays with raid. Yeah. Sprays with flamethrower, like an entire like military grade like flamethrower, and maybe even like a railgun to ensure that it's dead. But yeah, cool stuff. It looks like you're doing a really good job with Blender so far. Um, hey Nympha, how's it going? Was they surprisingly do. They hate the smell of red mulch. That's true. Peppermint also does keep them away. So, huh, interesting. I don't know. I am not a fan of spiders. I think the only spider I can tolerate is the cute little jumping spiders. One, because they're not aggressive, two, because they actually somehow are cute, and three, because they apparently are really intelligent. So, like, I'm okay with those. I still freak out if they jump on me, but I'm like less terrified when I realize that it's just a little tiny, cute one. So, but yeah, this is really cool stuff. Sarah is doing an excellent job here, so make sure you guys like and repost this. By the way, my speaking's gonna be a little scuffed today. I am very tired. I went to bed too late, couldn't sleep, had bad dreams, and then Vegeta like woke me up like multiple times just being a brat. So I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I know. I mean, I agree, but for some reason, jumping spiders just have those like really like ooh eyes, and like it actually looks like there's like a level of like intelligence behind them. I don't know. I had to have something that I could relate to them, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, he's usually not that bad, but this morning he woke me up like several times. Just being a brat. He just wanted treats. That's all he wanted. He wanted me to get up and give him treats like I'm just a treat dispenser. Yeah, you, I'm looking at you. Anyway, next up we have Stone Creates. Stone wrote, thanks for hosting again. Hey, you're super welcome. For those who are new or want to follow me, I'm Stone, an aspiring artist and writer from Missouri who writes and makes Yuri and namely OCs. I have a few new ones that I haven't shown yet. Hell yeah. I'm also getting destroyed by pollen, and it's hella hot outside, and my AC is still broken. I don't know what this apartment complex is doing, but they are not on the ball with fixing our AC. My OC Beans Stanford wearing a green gown with a ruffled collar and cuffs. She's got her eye patch, freckles showing, and her hair woven back. She unfortunately doesn't wear this gown anymore due to having it left behind, and she and Sadie escaped the estate together. However, she will be happy to admit that it's one of her favorite day dresses to wear back then. Aw, it's a cute little dress. Yeah, pollen super sucks. Like, I don't know. My nose has just been absolute. My nose and my throat have been like fucked for like 2 weeks because we had to keep the windows open because it's the only way to even remotely keep the apartment cool. Like, we have a fan and we have an air purifier, but it doesn't really like that's not enough. Ooh, we have Lady Loki. So we have Lady Loki from Marvel Rivals. This is based off a skin from the game, which honestly is one of the best skins in the game. I briefly played Marvel Rivals. I'm just really, really not good at those type of games, but I really do love like the artwork. We try to live in harmony with nature, but the feeling is not mutual. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mean to be like super like pessimistic or anything, but we're pretty much lice on the planet. We're pretty much an infection, so of course the planet's gonna do whatever they can to get rid of us. So it's like you gotta do something, you know. The planet's like real itchy and sick and we're the cause. So however, you know what sucks is like not everybody is necessarily born with like allergies. You just kind of like develop them as you get older. Just like you don't have sinuses when you're first born. It's something that you develop later on in life. So it's like such a pain in the ass. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Did a really good job of translating the skin. I love the designs in Marvel Rivals. Like, I know people are like, oh, you know, it's a Gooner game. It's like, well, you know, it's not only Gooner with the girls, it's also Gooner with the guys too. Like the guys are pretty jacked up. They have like the swimsuit ones. I mean, it's not to the same degree as the girls, of course, but at least there is some gooning variety. So zombie clown apocalypse is coming. Yeah. Oh my god, that would be terrifying. As long as they're slow, I'm okay with that. See, like I'm okay with the zombie apocalypse if we get like just nothing but shamblers that are like really, really slow. They fall apart, like their motor functions are pretty much shot. Like, you know, that's not that big a deal in my opinion. In fact, I hate it when I watch a show and they have nothing but shamblers and for some reason the military can't handle it, which is really dumb. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have fucked it up, and we're about to fuck it up more here in the US with all these like disgusting data centers that we don't fucking need. God, it makes me so mad. Anyway, moving on to the next one here. We have a piece for Mother's Day. Beans back in 1867 holding Maisie back when she was born. Beans is smiling with tears in her eyes and holding Maisie with utmost care and gentle love. If you want to know, Maisie was one of the only good things in Bean's life before Sadie showed up. Aside from her reputation and at first genuine love for him, Beans only stayed with Sawyer for Maisie to have a normal life. And now Maisie is 6 and misses her mother, who has been wrongfully framed by Sawyer. Aw, that's so sad. I hope like later they have a later in your story they have a nice like little reunion and like a happy ending between Beans and Maisie. That'd be really cute. Resident Evil equals fine. World War Z, fuck that. Yeah. Well, I mean, Resident Evil has like the lickers, which are really fast and they can climb. They have the hunters, which like are also awful. I don't know. There's just like if it was just the zombies from Resident Evil, just like the regular ones from like the first game, yeah, not a big deal. But you have a whole trilogy planned. Nice, hell yeah. I look forward to seeing a nice or reading a nice little reunion so she can not only be happy with like her new much prettier lover and her child. That would be great. My OC Sawyer stand for looking at someone, maybe his wife or daughter, with utmost disdain. It's about time I showed this bastard by himself. That's what he's thinking. He's like, I'm such a bastard. This is the bastard himself. But yeah, looking very judgy, looking disdainful. You did a really good job with the expression as he is sipping on his wine with his just nonstop asshole thoughts. So absolutely fuck this guy. Not so silently judging you, yeah. I imagine he's like slurping the wine, like just to get your attention so he can like look at you and judge you harder. Anyway, that is everything from Stone Creates. I cannot wait to see your story progress some more here. I want to see, where this goes, especially now that Beans has escaped from Sawyer. I want her to have a happier life. Um, but I'm also like I'm a very like optimistic guy, so I'm hoping that Beans, who has like the cutest name ever, has a very happy and fruitful life after getting away from this dickhead here. So make sure you guys support Stone. As you can see, they're super cool. They are hanging out in chat, and they are a budding artist and a writer. So make sure to give them support. We want to keep them going here. All right, next up we have Nympha. I might know this person. Happy Art Share Day. I jumped around doodling mostly myself throughout the week, practicing emotions and whatnot. Hell yeah, nothing wrong with that. Ooga booga. Hell yeah, I love this face. This face is great. I love it. That's fantastic. Also, I love your like self-insert character. They're very adorable. I like it, especially like the bunny ears and everything. Ooh, this is really cool. This looks like a webtoon thing here. Friend helped buy me a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card exchanged for some art. Oh, okay. So this is like you gave them art and they bought you a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. This is really neat though. I like this. This is really, really cool. I love the effects. I love like the shattered visor. That's awesome. Was meant to be a vent art, but ended up trying to make a new outfit. Aw, it's cute. I like it. I like the little like vest and like tights combo here. I think that works out pretty well. I'm always a fan of like the arm covers too for some reason. I always think they look good. Oh, this one's really cute. I usually use myself for vent art and end up feeling better drawing different expressions. Well, I'm glad that you feel better, and I'm glad that you use your art to as a way to, get your emotions like kind of back to where you want them to be to help you feel better. And look at this, you're producing stuff that's like absolutely fantastic. So I really like it. I love how unique like the eyebrow shape is on this one too. Well, that's not eyebrows. These are eyebrows, but I like those too. I don't know why I thought this was like a big like eyebrow here for a second, but I am so scuffed today, guys. Like, please do not mind me. I might say some dumb shit. Like I said, I am like running on like fumes and I'm all jacked up, so all right. I like this gift too. That's awesome. Hell yeah. All right, so that is everything from Nympha this week. Nympha is a fellow VTuber. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. I mean, on Twitch. Jesus Christ. And support them. Try to jump into their streams whenever you see them on. They also have a webtoon that is excellent. Go and check it out. It's called Gakking Zaibatsu. On the webtoon app, I am current on it, and you guys should also read it. It's really good. All right, next up we have Aaron Boy Verhel. Hell yeah, Aaron Boy has returned. I have returned. I've gotten off loop with ArtShare schedule, so I must have posted these in an older ArtShare. Sorry for the repost here. Anyway, these are the stuff I've been working on for the past few weeks. As per usual, names, descriptions, brief lore, etc. will be in the alts. Enjoy. It's you! You, Aaron Boy Verhel! Haha! Fanfare! Confetti! Ooh, we got the different levels here. We got starting off as a novice, then upgrading or digivolving to champion, and then the final evolution is the knight with a flaming sword. Hell yeah. Daniel Grazak's different attire throughout the early arcs of my webcomic Heroes of Madol. One is novice, his attire at the beginning up until the Long Forest arc. Two, champion, his attire during the Ironhelm arc, where he was proclaimed a champion of Ironhelm. Three, a knight, his attire between the Tryndamere tournament arc and the Grimoire raid arc. He inherits the flame tongue sword from a fallen knight friend back in the Ironhelm arc. It's not the final. Oh shit, this isn't even his final form. Hell yeah. He's gonna continue to evolve. That's awesome. I always like it. It's always cool to have like I hate seeing like manga or anime where like the character never ever changes like clothes or designs throughout like the whole thing. I don't know why. That just like irks me so much. It's like, really, your character doesn't have any other like wardrobe at all. I think I love like seeing the wardrobe updates in One Piece because they're always just like absolutely ridiculous. So all right, and then we have Timothy Grazek's different attire throughout the early arcs of my webcomic Heroes of Madol. One is the Prodigy, his attire when he reunites with Dan during the Iron Helm Elk, is the arc. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Yeah, One Piece is great when it comes to that. Two is Adept, his attire worn between the Tryndamere tournament arc and the Grimoire raid arc. Three is Bachelor, his party attire worn during his dance with Sasha in the Lamajin Manor Ball during the short pre-expedition mercenary arc. same. The one that always bothered that one that has always bothered me. I can't read today either. One series that counters that outfit stagnant trope is Cardcaptor Sakura. I've never seen it. I've seen that it's really popular. It did look pretty cute though. But yeah, this is really cool. You got like a basic kind of like, regular like wizard outfit here. Then you have more that looks like more of like they've upgraded to maybe some like celestial magic or something like this with like the stars and whatnot. And then they're like summoning like a crystal here, which is pretty cool. So we go from fire to like some sort of crystalline arcane magic here. And then we got his "It's party time. I am going out and being dapper on the town, and I even get a dance with a pretty person." So, and then they're wearing like the crystal as an earring too. That's pretty cool. It's a nice little detail there in the evolution. And then we have Daniel Grazek Warrior Ability Showcase, a showcase of warriors' abilities demonstrated by Dan Drawn in Chibi. So we have Wrathful Strike, which is like a super bonk, like overhead downward strike. The strongest wizard that made a lot of money. Yeah. Oh yeah, movement. Yeah. Overpower, we have a diagonal slash that looks like it does like a disarm type thing, as noted here with the little effects and the dagger dropping. We have charge, the one of the standard like warrior, like I'm just gonna rush in and check you with my shield. I thought I was the only one bothered with the no outfit change in animated series. No, it drives me nuts. Like I can't. It really bothers me a lot sometimes. It's like you don't do laundry, you open your closet and all you have is just like the same outfit for the entire series. Like what the hell? And then of course we got Whirlwind here. I like that he's like in a little like tornado shape. That's awesome. Then we have Reflect. So, bouncing attacks back with the shield. Yeah, exactly. Especially in like shonen things where there's like a lot of action where they're just like nonstop running around. Like, wash your ass, dude. And then yeah, oh no, it's the Fishman, that's true. No. Oh, Rip Fishman, the best character IMO in your webtoon. I mean your other OCs are great, but I love the fish guys. And then we have Execute, getting chopped in half with a downward strike, so you are definitely dead. Bullet Cleave, so using the force of the slash to do a long range attack, like a sweeping attack. And then we have Second Wind, where it looks like, like when you're down for the count, you get a little bit of like extra health, maybe temporarily, to get back up and bop some kobolds here, so. I know this is supposed to be like a cover here, but I was like, God damn, that kobold is packing. They are just like, wow, they are dragging it along. But I know it's just a flap to like cover their puppy parts. But oh, they're gnolls. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. The kobolds are rat dudes. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, literal third leg. Like this dude is an elite. He's got like the frame around him for like being a special one. Has an extra ability if you know what I mean. And then we have Timothy. So these are the Mage Ability Showcase. Also drawn in Chibi. So we got Fireball. So he's blasting away with the Fireball. Yeah, the virus. Oh my god. I saw the little map of like the where the people are being monitored, and some of them are in my state. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, stop like putting your face in poop. Like, what is wrong with you? Then we have arcane missiles. Oh, that's cool. I like how he snaps to do like the arcane missiles. That's really cool. And this was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And we have Frostbite that, freezes in place. Yeah, Polymorph, being turned into a sheep for a little bit. I think Polymorph would be even funnier if, like, when they were turned into sheep, they were, like, really friendly and floofy. Like, you could go up and, like, pet them and, like, snuggle them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's always the poop sniffers. Yeah, counterspell, so you have, like, a reflect shield here. You have Storm for, like, an AoE lightning attack here. Then you have Mirror Image. Ooh, that's cool. And then this Lamia chick is like, I don't know who's who. Mirror Image would also be cool if like the clones could also like cast magic too. That'd be sick. And Surge is a buff, and Haste, of course, is a speed buff. I love like the chibi versions of this. These are really cute. I think the chibi versions would be really good for like t-shirts or like little like four panel comics or something. That'd be very cute. Oh yeah, they are. That's awesome. I love it. Gotta love a JoJo reference whenever you possibly can. I'll definitely be putting some in the webcomic when I get to it. All right, so that is everything from Aaron Boy Verhel. I will be right back. I need to use some nose spray because I literally cannot breathe out of my nose. I will be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, I am back, and if I do sound funny for a second, I also have a lozenge for my throat. So, apologize for weird noises. All right, that is everything from Aaron Boy Verhel. I love the amount of time and dedication that you are putting into your webcomic and your world and everything. Like I said, I need that level of dedication when it comes to a project. Right now, my main focus is going to be working on the Otome game, aside from finishing up commissions. Also, shameless self plug, I do have commissions open on my VGen. Be sure to check that out, and I also have a Patreon if you want to check that out as well. Hell yeah, I definitely want to read it when it's done. I am all about like supporting everybody, and I have a great time reading everybody's like comics and learning about their characters. It's always a good time. You should make a if you make a sticker of anything, please make me a Fishman sticker so I can like put it on my like tablet or on my desk or something. That would be awesome. Hell yeah. I still have to get that those keychains made, but I am not in a position right now where I can do that. So next up here we have Mana Mineko Art. They wrote, "Hey Aniki, what's good? Oh, I'm just slowly dying of pollen here. Thanks for the art share. May Vegeta's weekend be filled with churu. Churu. I don't actually know what that is. But whatever it is, I'm sure it's great. He is being an absolute brat this weekend, but he will still get tons of treats and food and snuggles for me. So don't worry, he's well taken care of. Oh, this is super cute. Oh, little Japanese cat treats. Oh, hell yeah. I'll have to look for those when I go to the pet store again. A redraw of an image off of It's Done 2000's Twitter. Hell yeah, we have what's this called? A Gardevoir? I think is what this Pokemon is called. Super cute Pokemon. Gets looted very often for being very human-like, but I really like the flow of this image here. I think it works really well. Like especially if you're doing like the rule of thirds, it's like kind of like right along the really where like the lines would be to separate it up. Really, really nice. I like the choice of the background too. Super adorable. Done really well. Everything is really clean. And then shout out to It's Done 2000s on Twitter because this is a redraw of one of their images, but really well done. Excuse me. A redesign of Hello Boss's character Octavia. Ooh, based off Starlings and Black Swans and a trading card style format. I just went off the deep end with this card and the dress Octavia wears for being a collab. Oh my god. Between the brands Moi Meme, Moiti, Spindlehorse, and the fictional brand Takara Mara of my own imagining. The dress plus capelet itself is called Stardust Magic and is originally the design of Nia Hallow on Twitter X. I just added sleeves and changed the color scheme. That's really nice. It's always really cool taking like multiple like references and sources and combining them together. That's actually like a really advanced technique in art is to take it's really hard to work from more than one reference and have it all work together, and this works really really well. Also, you did a really awesome design with the graphic elements for the card itself. Celestial Surge, Octavia, we have Stylish, Stargazer, Little Owl, Lolita Fashion. This looks great. Really, really cool. I also like this character too. Oh, look at this cool guy. Old work, a commissioned art piece. Huh, is he... Oh, he has tentacles, so he's like an octopus merman. And he's got his like cool guy stunner shades on here. Hell yeah. He's just like styling on his rock here. Just doing some sunbathing. Yeah. I don't know why, but this haircut kind of reminds me of like Reagan from Mob Psycho. Like he's gonna like try to sell you some sort of like scam. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. And another older work, a stylized version of My Little Pony's Gen 1 Japanese exclusive Takara Toa line Pony Milky. They are called Cilias, the Octopus Mermaids. Oh, cool, cool. Oh yeah, that's true. I remember one of the bosses in Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a Cilia. Hell yeah. Now I've learned the actual name and term for him, so that's awesome. Hell yeah. But yeah, this is really neat here. I love the little chibi style. I love the little graphic elements. All of it is all like pointing, of course, at the main point, which is the face. Nice and simple, but effective. Looks really nice. All right, so that's everything from Mana Mineko Art here. They have Ko-Fi commissions open here, so if you want some beautiful MS Paint art drawn by a talented artist with a mouse, then Mana Mineko is your go-to. So make sure you encourage them and give them lots of love. Hell yeah, we got Linlin up next. Linlin writes, "Hello Aniki, thanks for the art share. You're super welcome. Working on a 10-page I'm so sorry, excuse me. Working on a 10-page essay. Yeah, MS Paint and the mouse. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just got a whiff of something and it just like absolutely wrecked me, and I still feel like maybe another one's coming. Hold on. Oh, oh my god. Trying to hold it in so I don't blow snot all over my computer. Oh my god. Working on a 10-page essay for grad school just completely destroyed my creative productivity this week. So here are older pieces while I try to get my creative juice flowing again. Hey, there is nothing wrong with taking a break from art to focus on like the important things. Thank you. Um, I hope that you are super successful in your education and that it lands you a super, super nice job. Oh, thank you, Kacho. I appreciate it. Ooh, we got like a Beauty and the Beast kind of thing going on here. A redraw of a panel from the webcomic Golden Hour made for a comic redraw contest. It is of the first meeting between the Catholic priest Lorne and the demon Buer, who would become his husband. Ooh, Catholic priest doing the no-no of his own religion. I like it. Hell yeah. That's what I'm looking for right here. But yeah, this is really awesome. I really like that the background looks like not only like stained glass, but it also kind of looks like almost like the kind of medieval styling of adding like little like fruits and whatnot on the pages. Got to romance your monster and take them out for a nice time at the ball. Yep. You gotta buy them a steak dinner and call them again. Unlike Dorothy Mantooth. But yeah, this is really, really adorable. I really like it. I love the expressions. Like I said, I really like the background. I think the background works really well for this image. I haven't seen this actual webcomic, but I'm sure you did a fantastic job of redrawing the artwork. So looks really good. Giving off a Frollo vibe from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ooh, an ink brush style drawing of Susie and Derby from K-pop. Demon Hunters for the Hello Friend art book. Oh, I love the big demon kitty and the burb. These are like the MVPs of like the movie. The blue tiger especially when it was like kept like knocking over like the plant and picking it back up. It's fantastic. But I love the like the Sumi kind of like brush style that you got going on here. Really nice composition. I love the texturing also, so it doesn't look like overly digital. Looks great. Aw. A study of the churro scene from the movie Challengers. I have not seen this movie, so I don't know what it's about. But the face this guy is making while he's eating this churro. And then this guy looks like he may have like had some smoke action going on. The way my Twitch stopped working as soon as Aniki got to my art is crazy. No! Fuck you, Twitch. Why would you do that? Oh yeah, very definitely very defined cheekbones. Like, you can see like the muscle here too from like the bite here, which is a really good detail. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. Drawing people eating is definitely incredibly difficult, so this looks really good. I like this. And again, I haven't seen this movie, so I have no idea what it's about. And then we have a commission for a friend of the world of his novel when the architect where the architecture, excuse me, and food source are all various forms of fungus. There is an artificial purple sun, and the world is separated into three residential levels and one farming district to the right. The closer to the sun, the more wealthy that district is. He's got the Kuwabara, yeah. Ultimate husbando. Yukida! I'll go get lunch and work on the thing I'm writing. See you later. Oh, well, I hope you have a fantastic lunch, and I wish you all the love and energy and all that when working on your writing. So have a good one, Verhel. Appreciate you showing up. This is really neat. I like this. This is really cool. I like how it's like essentially like a slum down here, like they were talking about. Then it gets like a little tiny bit better here, and then up here it's like nice and prosperous and modernized and whatnot. So, and then you got another then you got all the food source over here too. That's awesome. Cool stuff. Really nice neat concept. Like a wide range of stylistic like art pieces this time. I really like seeing this, and I really hope that your essay just absolutely like slams it out of the park. So that is everything from Lin Lin. Your artwork is great. I love seeing you guys' like older art too, so I can see how you started your journey and where it's going and everything. You know, and then of course, like a lot of these are bangers too, so definitely don't sleep on your old art. All right, next up we have Pensy. I hope Pensy's doing okay. I hope Pensy's toe has healed. They cut their toe really bad and they were bleeding really bad, so I hope they're all right. Let's go with some fun but old ones that I really like because I don't got any new this week. And thanks for doing these every week. Love them, Aniki. Aw, you're super welcome, Pensy. I love showing off everybody's artwork. This is this is from when I was playing Alien Isolation. Chad had voted that Havoc was the alien coming to get me. This is me hiding forever in the locker, like, oh my god, go away, please, 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 don't look in here, please. Aniki, honey, we are. Where are you? I just want to talk. And that's when I died like 14 times already. Havoc just trying to find her husband from where Aniki was playing alien game. It's so cute. I still love like this artwork. Like Pensy's so funny. I died a lot. I died so much in this game. It was so stressful. Like I still kind of want to play it in VR, but I don't know if my poor heart can take it. But I just think it would be kind of like a neat experience to at least like if I could just like turn the alien off and just go around the environment and like look at stuff in VR. I don't know. That's one of my favorite things about VR is to be able to just kind of go and explore the environments and check things out. But unfortunately, I don't own a VR headset. I've only played with a friends, and that was like right when the first Vive came out. I loved it, but I'm just like, man, I do not have the income for this. And then we have K-pop Demon Hunters with Pensy's OC swapped in here. We have Pensy as the kind of like how do I describe her? I don't remember. Yeah, VR's still a thing. It's still going. It's not quite as like it has like lulls where like every now and then the like companies will like shift their like priorities, like Meta just abandoned it, which is fine because Meta like kind of sucks. But I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Quest, but there are actually a lot of companies making VR and AR devices still. I watch a lot of like YouTubes about it because I want VR to actually become like a real like legit thing. Like I think it's amazing. As somebody who isn't old and grew up with like freaking like Commodore 64 and original NES, like to be able to jump into like a video game world and actually like immerse yourself and interact with it, like that was just like it was like a magical feeling. So this is Kika, Pensy, and Ryuzaki as the Huntrix. Was my favorite movie of last year. Yeah, dude, it was really cute. This one here, this character was my favorite one. The little one that raps. Aside from the Blue Tiger, the Blue Tiger was my absolute favorite character in the whole thing. So, and then we have some Dragon Ball ones here. We have Ryuzaki in her Majin form, absorbing Pensy and Kika to become all powerful. Hell yeah. Why are you laughing? And then nom 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 nom. I love seeing like the female like Majin Buu designs and stuff too. It's really cool. And I've never played Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but there is a new one coming out. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll have to check out a Xenoverse game, see if I like it. I'm just not very good at like the Dragon Ball games, even though I love Dragon Ball. And then we have just a funny little joke I thought of and had to do a drawing of it because Lucia is one for sure. Pensy, what does MILF mean? Kika told me I was one, but I don't know what it means. Well, let me tell you, it means a mama like to fuck. Why would you call me that? Oh yeah. This is amazing. I love this. It's so funny. This kind of also reminds me of like the little TikTok song where it's like, "Hello, little kitty, let me whisper." I can't even do it because my throat is so jacked up. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is really funny. I like it. This is exactly how this character would probably react to this. And I've drawn both of these characters. All right, that is everything from Pensy. I hope Pensy is doing well. Pensy is an amazing person, and like I said, I hope they're okay. I know they've been sick a lot, and they cut their foot, and there's like apparently bears like active where they live. So, hopefully Pensy comes across a bear, they can just hug them and be friends. Because Pensy has hugs for everybody. So make sure you give them lots of love and support. All right, next up. What's wrong? He said, dude, what the heck? Everything okay, Katsu? Or are you just responding to Pensy's situation? Yeah, Pensy like where they live, apparently there's like bears about. Actually, I saw recently on the news, even in our area, not too far from us, there's been like bears like roaming around, and I'm just like, where the hell did they come from? So I'm glad that Vegeta's not allowed to go outside. Even though he would probably like either run away or be like super friends with the bear. There are a lot of woods, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we probably don't have bears that are very large around here, I imagine. All right, back to the artwork. Here's Smiley Face from the Unmasked, my Monster Source t-shirt, hell yeah. Gas Punk from the Unmasked, and my old drawing of the Demogorgon from Stranger Things that I made for Dead for Daylight. Info is in the alts. Also, sorry if the info on one of the alts is too long. That's why I made shorter details for the other ones. Hopefully, it makes it easier for her. Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, all bears are definitely dangerous. He's inspired by Deadpool, and he is actually an anti-hero. Originally, I was gonna go with the vampire aspect, but I realized after it didn't really make sense. So he's got kind of like the smiley face, almost like an emote here, and then he's got like a very like similar setup to Deadpool with like where the padding and stuff is, at least from like the movie designs here. We do need oh my god, I wish I had a bear as a mount. Like not only as like a friend because like I love all animals, but being able to like just rock into like wherever I want to go riding like a bear, especially like a big armored bear. That'd be sick. Bears look so fluffy too. Like I would love to like hug and like snuggle with a bear and maybe like fall asleep on them because they're just like big giant piles of floof and fat and muscle. I don't know. I think they're adorable. But I would also totally evacuate all my bowels if I saw one coming at me. That would be my defense response immediately, would be just to be so unappealing as a target that they're just like, oh, dude, you didn't have to go that far. And then they just run away. Hell yeah. Oh, that's awesome. See, the Chinese war gods knew what was up. I mean, even though pandas are really, really dumb, that's still really cool. He's just like swagging on his enemies. Clean up and up aisle five. Yeah, you're gonna need a mop. You're definitely gonna need a mop. But yeah, really cool stuff. I like this. His face is so creepy with like the big giant smile there. Oh, that's true. They probably have been like bred to be dumb now. Hell yeah. I really like this like artwork Monster Source you did. This big beefy arm there coming out the back of his neck there. I really wanted to make this into a t-shirt and everyone loved my art, but only a very small toxic tagged people from YouTube said that my art is inconsistent and accused me with really crazy yet false allegations. When they jumped into my post for some reason, which is weird, one of them said it was inconsistent, but they failed to explain how. They tried to 2v1 me, and I got two of my friends to back me up. They only accused me of tracing Kaiju number 8. But here's the thing, I never watched the show, nor am I a fan of it. I literally drew it myself because I improved in my art. But oh well, I'm going to continue to be better than them, and that's how it's going to get back at them by me, just ignoring them and making my series successful. Yeah, I mean, like, there's gonna be people that are gonna be shitty on the internet, like it happens, but Twitter in particular is an incredibly like toxic and just like negative place in general. And like, even if you did trace it, you still like turned it into your own character. You still modified it. Even if you just used it as like a reference or used a reference in general, as long as it's modified enough from the original source, like, it's not like you drew like Kaiju number 8 exactly and then was like, this is Monster Source and it's mine. I created it. Like, just ignore people. Like the people that think that using reference or even like, so tracing isn't 100% a bad thing. Like I said, if you're not doing it exactly one for one, tracing is actually a really good way to get the muscle memory of the things you want to draw, and eventually you stop tracing because you've like drawn it like enough. But again, I would only use tracing as a tool to learn, not necessarily as like, hey, this is my art. If you do trace something or use it as reference, you can give that reference a shout out, be like, hey, I took my character as inspiration from this one piece here, and it improved my artwork by doing so. So just ignore people that are being shitty. If they're not giving you like constructive criticism is one thing, but to just outright like just be mean for no reason, like there's better ways to go about it. They could have just asked like, hey, this looks a bit different from your artwork, did you use a reference or that kind of thing? Like, there's ways to go about it where you're not an asshole. So, but anyway, I think it's really cool personally. I think it works like really well with your character here. So this is a sick t-shirt. And then we have Gaspunk is a villain inspired by Squirrel Girl, and I might be working on her story later, but thank God episode 1 of The Unmask is finished, so I can get to work on that. Well, congratulations for finishing the episode. That's sick. But yeah, this is really cool. She's like kind of like Squirrel Girl if she was like a skunk inspired villain here. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I do it every now and then too, especially with like the when I use 3D models, like I just adjust things, or if I'm like having trouble with a pose or something like that. It's like combining references. So it's like I said, as long as you're not like one for one tracing someone else's art and then claiming it as your own, if you're using it as like a learning tool or as a way to kind of like get over some sort of like block that you're going through, like there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't claim it as your own. If it's super super close to the original or the reference, just make sure you credit the original artist. But yeah, I like this design. I think it's pretty cool. I love like the I always love like black hair with like white streaks through it. I think it's like really cool. But yeah, they look awesome. I like it, and they have abs for days. And then we have I made a drawing for the Dead by Daylight contest. A day before Daylight announced the Stranger Things chapter first got canceled, I didn't know about it until a day or two later. Ooh, I like how like the different like faces on it. That's pretty cool. That's like a really cool take on the Demogorgon. They could have gone this route where it was more like like an ancient god kind of thing, and it was like absorbing like, like souls or something. That would have been sick. I don't know. I was really disappointed towards the end there about how they just kind of I don't know. It just really like petered off from being like all that interesting. So I didn't even watch the final episode. Like I watched enough TikToks about it that I was like, nah. Yeah, monsters that do have the faces that open up like that is pretty sick. Except for the ones in A Quiet Place. That movie's dumb. That might be a hot take for me, but that movie could have been cool if the solution wasn't so fucking obvious. Just, I don't know. It's just very silly that they could not handle that situation. All right. So that was everything from Scarewolf. I am super glad that you have finished a chapter of the Unmasked. I wish you all the success here. Again, just don't worry about people with negative comments. You can always block them, or you could just choose to just ignore them in general. If they're saying something that bothers you or is just downright mean, then it is not worth your time and energy to engage with it. Like engaging back with them is definitely I would not recommend even responding to them. I mean, you can do what you want to do. Like I'm not telling you what to do, but advice is like just don't bother. Ooh, we got a brand new person. Hell yeah, here. This is Echo Nensho. They also have commissions open. Hi, I'm Echo. I've been doing digital art for about 5 or 6 years now. Here's some of my more recent art. Thank you so much for the art share. Hey, you're super welcome, and welcome to our art share. I am always super excited to have new people. Yeah, there's like a lot of, and most of the time, like I said, people that do that are sometimes not even artists themselves, so their opinion really doesn't matter that much. Ooh, this is cool here. We got some perspective going on. We got a nice little serene scene of them fishing, which is something I really like to do in Palia. By the way, if you guys aren't playing Palia, is a free to play game. It's a cozy game, has a brand new update. They added a bunch of new cool stuff. You can ride a horse now, which is pretty sick. If you want to play with Havoc and I, just hit me up. Havoc streams it more than I do, but we'll probably do a collab stream coming up where we'll both be streaming at the same time and we will have our combined chats. So that'll be fun. We're going to try it out, see how it goes. We've just been scared about using the little Twitch collab button. But yeah, this is really cute, really well done. I like it. I love that you definitely have like the really good like separations from like the low angle here. You have your foreground with the water, then you have the midground of the dock with the character, and also the tree in the foreground. And then you also have some really nice looking rolling hills and mountains in a super floofy cloud. And all of it is like in line with like the face of the character here, so that's really good composition. Looks really nice. Ooh, and a side profile, one of the things that I am weak at. I really like their hair. I love the way that you did the rendering with the round brush here. It looks really nice. I like that I can actually see your brush strokes. I think that looks really cool. I can never like I have a hard time committing to like leaving the brush strokes like visible, but I think it does look nice on artwork. And then really effective like graphic simple framing works really well, especially with the color choice. You know, you got like a bit of like a warmer pink, and all the warmer colors are here on the face, and then you have all the cooler colors radiating out. So you did a fantastic job of that. It looks awesome. I like it. I like their glasses too. Ooh, this is cute. I like this. I like her big floofy hair. Totally not biased when it comes to that at all. She looks very I love the expression, almost like she's posing for like a photo shoot here. Oh my god, sorry, I'm trying to fan my shirt. I'm starting to sweat here just from sitting. Jesus Christ. And this kind of look, I don't know if this is supposed to be I don't know why, but this gives me like a bamboo forest here kind of vibe in the background. Even though I'm sure it's not supposed to be a bamboo forest, I just think it would actually look really cool. Especially having like straighter lines in the background to contrast all these curves. I think that would look really neat. And then you could have actual like kind of like straight lines, like literally like pointing diagonally like towards her head. I think that'd be really awesome. But it looks great already, so I think this is fantastic. Go to a doctor. No, it's literally it's just hot where I am. Like it's actually legitimately hot outside. So my AC is still broken. So and I actually have the fans on low, so you guys don't like hear just like obnoxious fan noises in the background. So I'm okay. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with me. So ooh, I like the mood lighting on this one. It's really cool. We got some mystery substance here. We got like a scientist type character here doing some experimentation, I'm sure. Maybe they don't have the best of intents with the way the lighting is set up. Very like dramatic. And I love the little like colored like reflections also in the eyes and the highlights. And the rim lighting on the one side of the face is really cool. I like this. Hell yeah. Hey, how's it going? Oh, yeah, the hand pose for sure. You know what? That's a good point. That's actually really well done, too. Did an awesome job with that. Hell yeah. Thank you, Katso, for the assist there. That's definitely worth noting, for sure. All right, so that is everything from Echo Nensho. They do have commissions open. Ooh, they're on VGen as well. So if I'm not already following them, I will have to make sure I give them a follow. Welcome to the art share. I will add you to the tag list so you can participate and not miss out every single week. Make sure you guys give them lots of love. Their artwork is fantastic. I appreciate you joining. Up next, we have Keychain. Keychain wrote, hello, sharing some new updates of my college thesis plus animated short film project. Ooh, hell yeah. So we have day one, a solo animated short film and research project of Shame Mog Toto. We have the teaser, we have AVP, we have a playlist here, and then of course we have an artwork here. So this is all the characters here. It says all six. Ooh, I like this. This is cool. These style like artworks are always like really cute where like the characters are kind of like either like laying down or they might even just be like arranged like this. Like looks really nice. I like it. I love all the texturing, the expressions, a lot of like photos going on. They got like a radio. That's cool. Hell yeah. Okay, and then we have all these down here as well. Let me turn off the music here for a split second and enable external media. Sure. Ooh. Oh yeah, we saw this teaser before and it goes into like the little 3D. That was really cool. And we got this one. Ooh. Why? Why are you like this? Make it big. No. Damn it. All right, we're just gonna have to keep it small. Ooh, I like it. The making of, how long is this? 5 minutes? It's not too bad. I don't know why I can't full screen it. God damn it. It won't let me full screen it. Well, what I will do is I will, hold on. Let me get this. I'm gonna copy the link. I'm gonna go to my actual YouTube over here real quick. Gonna paste. And then do. There we go. Now we should be able to do these. Where's the making? What? Okay, this is not what I thought it was. Alright, well, I will make sure that I subscribe to them and I'll check out their project here. Hold on, let me put my YouTube back. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to Keychain. Hell yeah. Cool. I am super excited to see your stuff come to life. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the Twitch here. Might be outside the playlist. That's true. Let me look real quick. Oh, there it is. Hey. Okay. Hell yeah. Can you guys see that? Oh, the audio cut out. At least we have subtitles. Ah. The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. I love the little like PS1 graphic characters. Ooh, okay. Oh, I see, I see. The struggle is real. Oh, damn. Hey, you gotta work with what you got, you know. It's too bad the sound isn't working on the video here. That's okay though. Ooh, man, I'm sweaty. That's crazy that most of this was like made on a smartphone. It looks really good though. They did an awesome job. You can hear the sound, it's just really low. Huh. I don't know why I can't hear it. It started off with sound in my headphones and then just stopped. Oh yeah. Go ahead and like that. Nice. Oh yeah. That's awesome. Let me go ahead and why? Try to do my best to throw this back over here. No, stop playing. Stop it. All right, let me turn my music back on. Wait, did my headphones turn off? That's what happened. My headphones turned off. I was like, what the fuck? I could have swore I charged them. Maybe I need to charge them some more. All right. Well, hell yeah. That is everything from Keychain. I love to see your project coming through. You're doing an awesome job. The fact that you edited it and put it together on a cell phone is absolutely crazy. I wish you all the success, and I hope it does really well, like your animation project and your short film. All right, up next we have Jupiter Planet. Jupiter Planet wrote, "My spring semester is over. Hell yeah, congratulations." One is Jessica and Feardom, my best friends or my boyfriend's OC, being cute in chibi form. Jessica looking up with plenty of thoughts behind those eyes. Jessica being insecure and a work in progress of a commission. Her name's Kwan Yu, another one of my boyfriend's OCs. I hope I said that OC's name right. If I didn't, I do apologize. So we have Free Feardom squishing Jessica's cheeks. Oh, that's super cute. I like it. And I like the piercings too. That's adorable. The little X in the ear is like super cute. That's a really cute way of drawing an ear in chibi form. Hell yeah. I like it. So many thoughts. There's just like way too many thoughts in Jessica's head. Like she just there's so many thoughts that she just can't keep them in there. They're like floating away, and this is her like looking at the thoughts uh dissipating into the atmosphere from the overwhelming amount of thoughts. Sorry, I had to stretch. Oh, I know that feel. It won't go away. Hey, I too am working on getting rid of my belly fat. It's getting there. I've definitely lost like quite a bit of weight already. I'm really happy with the progress. So if I can do it, this character can do it too. We believe in you. But yeah, this is really cool. She's got some dumpy thick thighs, and I definitely appreciate those. And since Pensy is not here, let's go ahead and do the honors for them. There we go. Perfect. Ooh, and this is the commission so far. Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely easy to put on. It's just consistency, you know. You just gotta like exercise and then make a conscious effort to not eat things that are blatantly bad for you. So, ooh, we can see the different like iterations that they come up with here, like their character sheet. Nice with like the different outfits, or maybe these are also like different outfits that are going to be worked on as well. Looking fantastic. I like it. I love like the design we got going on here on the outfit. Looking super slick. Hell yeah. So that is everything from Jupiter Planet. Make sure that you encourage them. They give them lots of love. I know Jupiter has also started streaming too. Make sure you follow them on Twitch and try to give them support when they go live as well. Even if they're streaming at the same time as me, if you want to watch anybody else, that is totally okay. I will not hold it against you, but I do appreciate all of you that do watch me in particular. Speaking of another streamer, we also have Rainbow Dog back again. I haven't seen Carla's work in a while here, so this is exciting. I hope she's doing super well. She has also been streaming on Twitch. Make sure you find her as well. I haven't been logged on to Blue Sky in so long, but I am back. Well, hey, welcome back. And I have a few things to show. Got two pictures I drew of my OC Xander for his birthday, and then a picture of my OC Astrea, and a commission for my friend. Nice. Ooh, he's looking like really devious here. He's got like a little like, you know, like heartbeat kind of thing going on here. It looks like he's gonna get into trouble or cause some trouble. Hell yeah. And then you can see by like all the jagged edges here that he's like, you know, possibly dangerous by the shape language here. And then we have another, looks like another picture of him. Let me go back and, yeah, this looks like it's like a portrait of him, like doing some experimenting here with the lighting as well. Having like the dramatic like light coming across. Ooh, this is a nice little effect too, like how this like pupil is like catching so much of the light that it's actually like lit up all the way. Hey, Alex, what's up, man? How you doing? Ooh, this is really pretty. I like this character. I love like the winged eyelashes. That's like super cool. I am roasting away here in my apartment because my AC is broken and the pollen is destroying me and I am tired, so I'm just bitching and complaining today. So don't mind me. I'm probably gonna sound like really scuffed and kind of like out of it. I haven't been able to read. Jeez. I'm just like a deflating tire here. But yeah, this is really, really cute. I really love this design. I love the stars in her hair. Really good job of clumping the textured hair. Also, super cool drawing a dark skinned character. We don't get enough dark skin representation in characters, so I'm super happy that you're doing that. And she's very, very pretty. She's beautiful. I love the constellation, like kind of freckles across her cheeks. Super, super cute. And then like the pearls here is a really nice touch too. And then the eyes, of course, look a lot like the kind of like the Gurren Brigade kind of symbol, except that they're stars. Hey, Bunzy, how's it going? Welcome to the chat, and thank you so much for following me. Welcome to the art share. Appreciate it. Let me follow you back here. And there we go. Hell yeah. Nice. Oh my god, if I can close it. There we go. Woohoo! Anyway, moving on to the next one here. Oh, this is adorable. This must be the commission that she's working on here. Must be one of her friends, like OCs maybe. Super, super cute. I love all like the different pattern work that Carla puts on her OCs. Always like really, really nice. Ooh, and they got like some sort of like, it looks like a carbonated drink or a fizzy drink going on here. And then they got like a picnic prepared with some nice light kind of coming through. Looks really good. I like it. Very cute. So that is everything from Rainbow Dog, aka Carla K. Make sure you, like I said, you follow her on Twitch. She's super, super nice. She's really cool. I really like her artwork. Also, shout out to her. She designed the icon for my quantum bits there for the channel points, and it looks like really, really nice, and I appreciate her. Oh shit, I might know this person. We have Kacho Manser up next. They wrote, "Hi Aniki, this time I just have this drawing." Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's still artwork. I made this year, made for this year mermaid, but I also share my whole process in the video. I hope you like it. Oh my god, I always want to do mermaid, and then I start like sketching it, and then I get distracted and I never do it. Ooh, I really like this. A little bit of lore about my mermaids. I base them on very dangerous marine creatures that also have a certain charm that makes them attractive. Eureka is a mako shark. Hilde is a lionfish, very poisonous. And Alma is a blue-ringed octopus, one of the most potent poisons in the world. Oh, damn. So they're definitely not for looking at, but They're definitely for looking at, not for touching. Jesus Christ, sorry. Oh my god, I cannot speak to get today, guys. I apologize. But this is awesome. I really like it. I love the translations, the design. I love her little like kelp and rope bra that she's got going on here, so I can actually show it on Twitch. And her sharp teeth. Yeah, they're all really cool in different ways. I think each one of them, there are different things I definitely like about it. Like, I really like the frills down here at the base and the tail for this one in particular. I think that works like really nice. It's a really cool like transition. And then of course he did a really good job with like giving her sharp teeth on this one. And then yeah, this is just really, really nice. Again, an excellent mermaid here. Like I said, I always want to like participate, but I always have like other things going on, so I never get a chance to do this. But this is excellent. Just a shout out here too. Kacho also has a webtoon called Magical Hunter Girls and a Dude. It is excellent. Make sure that you guys check it out. Make sure you read all the chapters. Kacho is also a super cool person, and I love that you are part of my community and that you show up and you hang out with me. I really appreciate you. So anyway, make sure you guys oh yeah, we got a process video. Hold on. Let me turn off the music here. Oh shit. We got Deathclock too. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. That's awesome. This is a even though the image is not like metal-fied, this is the perfect song for this. Ooh, you're working on another one. I can't wait to see it. I fucking love Deathclock so much. Metalocalypse is also fantastic. Also, thank you for helping people with art advice in the Discord, Kacho. Really appreciate it. Oh man, yeah, I have. Yeah, I've been on the job search myself, and it is a sad, sorry state where I am. So not much luck. But I wish you luck, man. I hope you have better opportunities in Brazil. I'm just vibing out to the death clock right now. It is really hard. All of it's fucking AI. Like even jobs where it's like, like answer calls, but also train the AI to do your job so we can replace you in a year. But like I said, I did open my Patreon. I followed you on your Ko-Fi, so I'll actually probably get a Ko-Fi going there too, if that's maybe a little more accessible for people to, maybe throw me $1 every now and then or something. That'd be awesome. I don't know. All of us need a little help sometime. Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. Actually, let me make sure. Hold on, let me don't go to another one. I'm gonna put this link on my actual YouTube so I can also follow Kacho. So let's go up here. With that, enter. And oh wait, am Oh, I'm already subscribed to Kacho. Hell yeah. Make sure to just give him another like there. There we go. Hell yeah. Nice. Alright, back to some anime music, even as much as I love Death Clock. Hey, I always love to like throw support in any way possible that I can to you guys. Yeah, so like I've been trying to like get a job like as like a character designer and like for like video games or something, but they always want like a ridiculous amount of experience, and then on top of that they want you to be able to like 3D model everything even though the job says 2D character illustrator. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like that's like a misrepresentation of the job like posting. It's like I'm not going to do 8 people's jobs. Especially when there's a whole fucking team working on something. Like, I'm not doing that. It's super lame. Anyway, Kacho is an amazing artist, a super cool person. They are also an art teacher as well, doing a fantastic job of holding it down for the Discord and creating some amazing art. Hell yeah, next up we got Prime Star Mangaverse, aka PSM. They wrote, "Sup, man? Good to be back on. Here's my artwork I've been working on." Hell yeah. And then in the alt here, drew this last year. This is Lilith dressed in her casual threads when she is not raiding and looting space stations and planets. Even a bad girl space pirate needs to unwind. Sometimes, let me need to redraw this and make it look even more better. Hey, I still think it looks pretty good. Looks fantastic to me. Again, like I love that you put like a little bit of a texturing, a grain on it, to help make it a little less, digital looking. Um, if I had any advice for you, I see that some of this is actually shaded with like gray or straight black here. I would recommend making that like some sort of a color, a different color. Shading with like you could start off shading with straight black, but I always recommend like um converting it to a different color here. It'll have it like look a little more lively. Other than that, everything I think looks pretty fantastic here. I think it looks great. I love the design too. She's got all sorts of different design elements that are really interesting. And then here we got Andre Boom, my favorite. Yeah. This is a newly introduced character in Full Metal Spectre Blue. He's Diesel, a space trucker working on the road, delivering cargo to many planets in his home quadrant. He may look scary, but he is a nice guy who happens to get pissed when he sees injustice on the road slash stars, which puts him in conflict with the Justice Guild of the Triangulum branch. He is also a skilled MMA hobbyist and has a crush on Apollo and Ares' sister Athena. I know he doesn't look anything like Space Dandy, but every time I see like a space trucker thing, I think of the episode of Space Dandy with all the different alternate universe dandies. And the trucker one is so fucking funny. That show was amazing. Like I don't understand why it didn't do well. It was so good. If you guys have not watched Space Dandy, please watch it. It is so good. Like especially in English, it's fantastic. But anyway, back to the artwork here. Yeah, I really like his design. He's definitely, you can tell that he not only works on like machinery, but like of course because of his like MMA training here, like he's definitely in really really good shape. I like that he stands up for like people when he's on his long like hauls. Sounds like a stand-up guy. You should definitely rewatch it. It's really good. The animation from Studio Bones is always like top tier, and it's just really good. It's fantastic. Like I know like the whole thing is that it's supposed to be silly, but it's still like incredibly well done, even though that it's like really silly. It's fantastic. Ooh, cool. We got like a mecha here. Spectre Ash, the Spectre mecha form for Diesel. Oh, so he's got his own like mecha form too. That's sick. Unlike the other Spectres, he has no need for weapons as his body is the weapon. He has the ability to create smoke and ash from the vent for his body and create smoke clones of himself. Ooh, that's pretty neat. I like that. The cat too. He's totally a space cat. I don't know. I like all the characters. I think they're all pretty funny for the most part. But yeah, this is really cool. I wonder how smoke works like in space without like gravity. I don't know. That'd be an interesting like concept, but I don't know if they like fight like exclusively in space or if they more fight on like planets in these mechas. I don't know. I like the design. It's cool though. Like I said, I'm always a fan of PSM's designs here because they always remind me of like the old school sci-fi and mecha designs that I really enjoy, and I wish they would like bring back that style. This is a fan art of Aquarius, a mermaid Saigen cyborg from the indie anime OVA that is going to come out in 2026 called Constancy Roa. Ooh, hell yeah, I'll have to check that out. When I laid eyes upon her, I was truly captivated by her beauty and just had to make a fan art of her. I hope the creative geniuses in Infinity Arc LLC enjoys the fan art I did for them. I'm sure they will. Like, you're also spreading awareness for their projects, so that's totally awesome. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I like this. I love the angle of the pose. I love like how dynamic the hair is floating around in the water. You got like the little bits of like kelp and particles that you would find in the ocean. Looks fantastic. You did a really good job, man. All right, that is everything from Prime Star Mangaverse. Make sure you check them out. They do have a published book for their series here, so make sure you go to their profile, follow any links. If it is available for purchase, if you have the funds to do so, please support them. All right, next up we have Literally Hell, and let me go ahead and preemptively turn off the music here because they do animations. Hiya, thanks for the Archer. You're super welcome. I'm Rob, and I've created my own indie cartoon series called Literally Hell and Joy. So let's find us an episode we haven't already watched. Let's see, compilations. All right, we can watch some of these shorter ones here because we've watched all the current full length episodes. So let's find one that's a slight bit longer. Let's do the meme review here. I'm sorry if this is quiet. Oh, people have been doing a bunch of fan art. That's really cute. I like that. Hell yeah. So that was literally hell. There are actual full episodes as you go up farther. It takes a really long time to do animations, especially voicing and doing everything yourself. So make sure that you support Literally Hell. Thank you so much for sharing in our art share. Like I said, if you guys want to post like anything, you post animations, you can post videos, like literally anything creative you've done, you can post it on here. So thank you so much. It was awesome. Ooh, we got another new person here. Hell yeah. Let me see if I'm following them. Let me go ahead and give them a follow and support. There we go. Hell yeah, we got another new person out here. That's exciting. Catherine Amberly with commissions open here. Thanks for the art share. My name is Catherine and I love drawing fantasy characters. Ooh, so they did the art meme that has been going around with the shadow hand boobs, hand shadow bra thing. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. I'm under duress, guys. I am hot. I am tired. So please don't mind me. But yeah, this is really well done. Really, really cool. They took a Genshin character. Uh oh no, Pensy had saw it online and had shared it. And then I mean we could totally just go around and say that Pensy, started it because Pensy's awesome. So Pensy's probably cooler than the person that started this. No offense to the person that did the original meme here. So it was totally Pensy. But yeah, this is really well rendered. I appreciate that they are also in a bikini top so I can show it on Twitch without getting in trouble here. It's done really, really well. You did a really good, solid like anatomy here. I love the specular highlights here, so you can see through the skin with the light going through. It's always a nice little touch to make your skin look more lively, is having like, either red or orange on the spots where the skin is the thinnest. So when the light passes through it, it gives it kind of like this orangish reddish kind of color here. So this looks really, really good. And I love the simple but highly textured background. I think that is really, really effective. So it's great stuff here. All right, so that was everything from Catherine. I cannot wait to see more art from you. I am super stoked that you've joined our art share. I will add you to the tag list so you do not miss out. I do this every single week. So yeah, don't be afraid to show as much art as you got. Even if you don't have new art, you can post old art. Just try not to repost the same stuff if you can help it. So fantastic work. I will definitely add you to the list. All right. Oh my god, we got another. Damn, look at this. We're collecting them all like Pokemon. Hell yeah. All right. So we have Rage Key 64. Yay, hello, my name is Rage Key 64. Oh, Raiganki 64. I'm a beginner's artist that is trying his best. I like retro art design, so here's my work. Follow me for more of my work. Hell yeah. We got somebody working on their art journey here and already doing a fantastic job. I love The Tick. The Tick is such a funny show. Like, I do miss this cartoon like back in the day. Back when cartoons were like weird as fuck, but still like really funny. But it looks like you did an excellent job here. I love like how you have some of the villains here in the broken glass. I can imagine him yelling spoon as he goes. And then he's got Arthur here flying in the back. Fantastic. This is like nostalgia like crazy. Ooh, and then we got like a Metal Gear Solid fan art here. We got this crazy like Metal Gear contraption looking here. I love like all the different like little like hanging like wires and stuff that probably attach to it. And then you got Solid Snake down here sneaking around. Oh god. Looking fantastic. You're doing a really, really good job already with your artwork. I love that you're experimenting with different types of lighting and schemes. You got some perspective going on here with the box. Looks fantastic. Ooh, and then we got some perspective here too with some foreshortening. Got some anatomy attempts here going on, looking great. I think you're doing a fantastic job already. It looks like you're off to like an amazing start in your art journey. Man, it's really cool. I love the idea of like the glowy arm here. And then he's got sharp teeth, and I always love characters with sharp teeth, so. Oh, and then we got Princess Peach here. Again, really solid job with the lighting here. Experimenting with, seeing how lighting works. And then you have like the bounce light even under the eyes here of the like sky and everything. So that's a really nice touch. And then you got a bit of a blur on the falling leaves. I think you're doing an absolutely fantastic job already. You're doing great. You are challenging yourself and experimenting. So this is awesome work. I cannot wait to see your development. So that is everything from Ryganki. Sorry. Like I said, I'm a VTuber, so I am going to say your name wrong. It's just default mode, so. Well, welcome to the art share. You are doing a super solid job here already, and I cannot wait to see more. All right, and then we have possibly our final person here, another new person as well. So this is Spade, Scarra's #1 fan and wife. Let's go ahead and give them a follow back. I hope I'm not late. Nope, you totally made it. You can actually post even like during the stream because I'm going to reload and check and make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'll also be adding you to the tag list. Oh, that's you, Bunny. Hell yeah. Yeah, so like you can literally, like I said, you can post in the art share all the way up till I'm live. I always make sure I do a quick reload at the end to make sure that nobody got left out or left behind. So you never have to worry about it. You wrote the first two are of my Sona and Wanderer from Genshin Impacts. I like drawing us interacting. The last two are my OCs. Wisteria is a witch who got summoned by the king to help aid in the war. Ooh, I like her name. That's cool. Oh, this is so cute. I love this. I love like that you have like the focal blur as if like, someone is peeking through like a bush as these two lovers share a smooch together. Really, really cute. I like your lineless style that you have here. I think that's absolutely adorable. It kind of reminds me of like really, really cute like cut out like paper art. Like not in like a shitty way, but I mean like I think it looks nice. I think it's a very nice style. I think it works really well for this piece. And then we have this adorable piece here as well of the two characters walking together. Looks like this one maybe is either embarrassed or it might have like possibly a stomach ache, but I love like the little like halftones that you have going on here. I really, really like it when people include like halftone, like graphic elements like to their artwork. I always think it looks really, really nice. I am not great at it myself. I've tried every now and then, but I don't know if it always works with my art style in particular. Hell yeah. Hey, it is always good to experiment. I always tell everybody do 80% of what you're comfortable with an artwork, and then leave yourself 20% to play around and experiment with it. That way, you get to try something new, and, the majority of the drawing is something you're comfortable with, so you're going to finish it regardless. And if that 20% doesn't work out for you, then you can just scrap that part of it and it's not like really that big a deal. Really adorable stuff. Oh, and this is the Witch Wisteria here. And then I like this too. This is really cute. Like kind of pushing the actual like wisteria away, or I don't know, is the wisteria actually part of the hair? But it looks like framing here, so I do really like that. I always love this mouth style here, kind of like the cheek tongue-in-cheek face from like Konosuba. It's always like one of my favorite things. I love Konosuba so much. Ooh, and then we got a little comic here. So we have Elijah in his 20s, Prince of the Kingdom. I already know these people will hate me. Hey, I like you. You better. Wisteria in her 20s, head witch of the nearby witches' village. Killian in his 20s, part of the knights and the prince's personal guard. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, that's cool. I like this character in the back here too, also in the frame. You can definitely tell that they're walking through the halls here. And I love the wisteria hanging out of the hat. I think that's like such a cute little addition. And then the little like flyaway curls like coming off of their hair. That's really, really nice. That's a great touch. I love it. And it looks like you're also kind of like experimenting here with also like some lighting as well. Looks great. I love it. All right, so that is everything from Spade, aka Bunsy Bunny, here in the chat. I am so glad that you have joined our art share. Oh yeah, I love it. It is so cute. I cannot wait to see more of this. I will be adding you, of course, to the tag list so you can join us every single week. But yeah, fantastic stuff. What a great one to end off on here. Let me go ahead and like and share it. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick reload here. Also, guys, make sure that you support Bunsy as well. And I can't wait to get to know you more and hang out with you. I also do gaming streams, by the way. If you're ever interested in watching my gaming streams, you can come hang out as well. I usually do 2 gaming streams a week, and then I do 3 art streams. So, all right, let's give this a look over here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. I still love that GIF. The GIF is amazing. All right, looks like I didn't miss anybody. Oh man, now I'm on the spot because I actually don't have too much to show here that's new. Let me go in the lobby, put you guys in the lobby here and see if I can find some stuff to show real quick, maybe. I've been kind of like plowing through all my old artwork here. Uh, let's see. Especially stuff I haven't already shown. Maybe I gotta find my much older artwork. Bear with me, guys. Um, Trying to find something I haven't showed already. I mean, I guess I could show some stuff that I also didn't finish, like some sketches. Well, I don't actually have anything to show this week. Shame on me, right? I think I've showed most of everything, and then a lot of this older stuff I can't quite show because it's like development for things that we're working on. See, that's the problem with like a lot of my art is like stuff that we're actually like, in the process of developing. So I don't want to like spoil anything. So nothing from me this week. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do a little wrap up here. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me at the Art Share. Art Share is one of my favorite streams of the week. I absolutely love seeing everything you guys do. I love seeing all of your progress. I love being able to give you exposure. Well, I do a lot of different things. So I do illustrations. I have a lot of personal projects. So I had started a webtoon with my wife, and I've been redoing it progressively over and over again. So the webtoon is one of the projects that I have on hold at the moment. The current project I'm working on is my wife and I are doing a visual novel slash Atomi like dating sim game. So that's the current thing that I'm focusing on, but I mainly do like illustration work and character work. Um I guess I should lock down what kind of artist I really am. That way I can make it like my thing. But I do have like a variety of different things that I am capable of doing like skill wise. But all of it is for like, yeah, it's just for, we have like a bunch of personal projects we're working on, and our goal is to actually own a studio, so we can hire a bunch of artists and we can all work on these projects that we've had and get them off the ground. Uh, Giving artists a great place to work where they'll be appreciated, where they'll be paid really well and treated really well. That's our ultimate goal. So that's what we're working towards. Kind of building an army of artists, so I'll have a nice big pool to choose from to give you guys like art careers and that kind of thing, and we can all like work together to make something awesome. um but yeah, again, thank you so much everybody for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that you came in kind of late there, Bunsy, but I really hope that you show up for more of the streams. We have a really great time. I'm really goofy and silly, and I say things wrong all the time. If you like the kind of content I do, please follow me to see when I go live. Consider subscribing, especially if you have Amazon Prime. There is a button for that. I have a VGen that is linked. I also have a Patreon if you want some exclusive rewards and content. Please go check that out. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Otherwise, I will not be streaming tomorrow. Hell yeah. We're all going to get rich and sponsor each other. That way, we're all just get more wealthy by combining the wealth and sharing it, and we're all just going to be like rolling in a tub of cash together. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you again. I will catch you Monday